Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and this is now our third working group for AI Hacker House Academy today. And this is a new series that we're firing up. And on the screen, I've got our Google Docs for our cohort, and this is a peer learning cohort that we're planning to launch June 2025. And scrolling through the agenda here, this is a template. Gonna always talk about our FELG culture, love our FELG culture, fun, earning, learning, and giving. And real quick, I'm gonna go here to hackerhouse.net and we will be pivoting. We had a good conversation before going live here about that. Not going to unpack all of that right now, but here is our event calendar. And one of the things that I did do was get the events scheduled. So here we are talking right now live. And then tomorrow at 12 p.m. Mountain, 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be catching up for another conversation, and then same time tomorrow evening, and then again on Wednesday during the midday time slot. And that's working to get our agenda created. And on that note, I'm going to scroll down here and you can see I don't have a whole lot of agenda. This is our third conversation today. And on that note, I'm going to defer to I am Lotus and or Tyler to hear what you all would like to discuss during tonight's working group.
I think we need to nail down the marketing strategy, figure out exactly what logistics we need to get done here in the next, few days, landing page, registration, affiliate links, every logistical thing. Because once it's ready to sell, I think the product is done, but the registration, the affiliate stuff, the brand, logo, pretty links, whatever, that's all what needs to happen.
I'm glad that you're confident on our ability to create a great curriculum, and I will agree we do have a lot of content over here. And one of the things, though, that I do want to come back to earlier today, we talked about creating a D-form for feedback, and that's one of the things that I'll put forward that I would like to do. But I would like to hear from I am Lotus as far as some thoughts, ideas, what we should spend this hour tonight here on Cinco de Mayo.
I know that Tyler got the educational part covered because I know nothing about real estate, but uh, I'd like to get the, how should I say this, the brochure or whatever that we could share for other people to check our project and see if it resonates with them. Um, the sooner the better because we have only what, 4 weeks you said before your.
Yeah, and quite literally tomorrow,
Yeah.
May the 6th, we're planning to do our first uh, conversation around this cohort on June the 3rd. So that'll be 4 weeks from tomorrow. And to summarize what I heard you say in slightly different verbiage, is create a landing page template. And this is and I'm going to actually use Figma. I'm not going to unpack all of that right now, but the goal, and this is one of the things that I'm communicating, is I'm really looking through the lens of architecting a process, a playbook that on-chain ambassadors, and we're planning to deploy this strategy with our personal brand, Yonk's team, and to bring AI agency for not only the real estate professionals, but also our on-chain ambassadors. And one of the things that Tyler and I were talking about to lean into the We Own brand and to bring some parallel verbiage to things, I'm really liking creating a We Own Associates, because one of the things that we need to do is we need to get some agreements in place. And the better that we do getting agreements in place, that protects ourselves, protects our associates. But what are your thoughts, Tyler? I am Lotus, about We Own Associates.
I I think it's fine. The um, analogy that I have been using is when I used to work in finance, we had one unified company brand, but within that brand, we had a bunch of different shops. And there were a lot of our clients who only liked us for one or two of the like 12 or 15 things that we offered, and that was fine. Every shop stood alone as its own thing, but they're also unified under this one brand. And the brand was basically, we're the best at what we do in every category. So whatever category you need, that's what you want to partner with us on. So that's kind of the way that I'm thinking through some of our stuff. Um, the only thing I have minor concerns about is if something happens to one of the pillars, then that just totals the entire brand. But I think that's probably not going to happen. So I think it's probably be fine.
Um, not necessarily, because like I think the opportunity, because when you unpack like having a portfolio of assets, and I'm not sure like what type of scenarios that you're talking about, but I don't think it's realistic when you're having, a portfolio of anything that everything is going to be successful. So, and talking of brands, like pToken Assets is a different brand that's very different from We Own. So I'm not as concerned about the brand carnage of if an oh shit scenario happens with a particular asset or something like that. Okay, so moving on, we own associates, and I'm going to put a little bullet point here on that for
Hey,
go
the
ahead.
when you say associates, it's for the real estate, the realtors, or
No, those are going to be the securities licensed brokers who to to make a commission off selling an asset. Then you need to have a securities license. To be a securities licensed person, you need to have a broker dealer. So pToken Associates is going to be that air cover, so people are able to legally sell for commissions. It's a securities regulation.
And we own associates equals on-chain ambassadors. And this is where we just need a legal framework in place to have agreements for things and to create value. And with how much that we're leaning into We Own, I think that it would make sense to kind of when you unpack where things will fit within the ecosystem, putting on-chain ambassadors within We Own Associates. That's kind of the thoughts right now.
okay,
All right. So going back to our goals. So one of the things you were talking about, Tyler, was getting the deliverables dialed in. So this is where we can do that here in the deliverable section. And I don't know if we want to create some subsections. I'm thinking that we probably should. Let's do a technical, um, logistics, and then marketing, maybe. Yes, no? Tyler?
Yeah.
Technical, logistics, and marketing. Just get geeking out here on the headings. So go-to-market strategy, and let me actually move the go-to-market strategy here for under here. This and I'm going to make this a heading 3, avatars. All right, let me refresh this. Okay, so what does appear? Let me actually do this here. FAQs. We'll make this a heading 2. And this is stuff that we can absolutely create a content strategy around. I'm not going to unpack that right now. Playing the long game here. And this is something that our AI agents will get better at. But let me clean some of this up. Okay. FAQs, thoughts, benefits, deliverables. Okay, technical, logistics finalized on weekly schedule. I thought we had this broken down. Where did we have this on the weekly schedule? Where was that? Oh, right here. Let me move this down here. Okay, that looks a little better there. Finalize on weekly schedule. I think we kind of got that dialed in fairly well. And I'm going to put in here alternating Wednesday, Thursday morning. Okay, so got the goals and FAQs tab cleaned up here. Do we want to add anything while we're on this tab? Do we want to add anything to any of these sections? FAQs, benefits, deliverables?
And that's a good start for now.
Alrighty. So moving down the list over here, let's go back to what we had over here. Get our deliverables dialed in. Let me go back to that tab. Is there anything else? I think that this is a pretty good start. I'm going to just update this right here. Check this off. And I'm going to put in here added sections to organize thoughts from areas of expertise. create a landing page template in Figma. So this is something that Figma, one of the tools, and I'm going to digress here real quick. We're planning to implement Droip. Droip is a no-code, drag-and-drop WordPress builder that simplifies website creation with powerful capabilities. And one of the reasons that we're looking to do that is that you can easily import details from Figma. And I'm not sure, let's see, get started with tutorials. But anyway, this is a tool that we're planning to use for our WeOwn associates, our on-chain ambassadors. So anyway, going back here to our agenda for tonight, let's start talking about our weekly schedule. And I'm going to just put a little timestamp here at 9:34. Moving conversations towards weekly schedule. And this is a tab, a subtab in the Google Doc. And I'm going to just put a link right here like this. Apply. Boom, click on that. Okay. So week 1 of 16, introduction to peer learning cohort. And I'm going to just change this to welcome and intros. Set up Google Cloud infrastructure for their own AI agency. Okay. What else do we need to talk about anything else on week 1? I think if we do that, that will be good. Let's actually, instead of talking about our weekly schedule, let's go back to one of the things that we were talking about earlier today, our deform for feedback. So let me actually fire up a profile here for WeOwn.Network and go to Megaphone. Let's just go to deform.cc, Megaphone, create deform. Grow your community's GDP. Create deform. We'll sign you in or create an account if you don't have one yet. I'm going to just make this simple here. We're on WeOwn.Network. I'm fairly certain that I've got this dialed into WeOwn.Network, WeOwn.Gmail. Continue. Setting up your workspace. What's the name of your organization? This will be your workspace name. So we're going to call this, since we're doing this on our WeOwn.Network profile, let's call it WeOwn.Network. WeOwn.Network. And grab the Meridian emoji. How did you hear about us? We'll call recommendation from a friend or teammate. Get started now. All right, see how easy that was. WeOwn.Network space. So the goal of this is to create a feedback form. So let's do a feedback form. We're going to create a viral. We like rewarding our on-chain ambassadors, our WeOwn associates. So here, how should users identify themselves? Email or wallet? We're going to do email. Feedback form. All right. So what questions do you want in this, Tyler, or is this something that you want to come back to later?
Brooke's pretty chatty, so we're gonna have to do it after she's asleep or tomorrow.
Okay. Well, this is something that we will brainstorm some ideas. You saw how quick that was. One of the things that I'm going to do, well, I don't know if I am right now. This is something that I will show you right now just because I like to geek out on branding. We're planning to do a custom domain. Not going to go through that workflow right now. And we might actually just postpone that, quite honestly, but we'll curb this, started the process for our feedback form. And this is where we want to use the feedback for this form to really dial in what we want to focus on here. So Tyler did a great job as far as some curriculum ideas. This is way more than what we will be able to unpack in a 4 month time frame. So this is where we can get people to customize the curriculum as far as what they really want to unpack during our Hacker House Academy, We Own Academy for real estate professionals that we're getting ready to launch. All right, so going back to our agenda, I'm going to cross these things off the list. This was our session from earlier today, and we talked right now the create a D form for feedback. We started that process. Went through a lot of the other stuff. I'm not going to cross this all off right now. Let's take a look here from earlier today. And that was from working group 4. And here at working group 5 is where we're at right now. So looking at the time here, I'm going to see if there's anything else that we want to do, like creating a landing page in template. I think that this is one of the, and let me make sure that we have this over here real quick. Deliverables, marketing. I'm going to make sure that this gets added here. The user journey is more important because that's the first thing that we need to do to really document. But the create a landing page template in Figma is definitely a marketing deliverable. So I've added that to the goals and FAQs tab. Okay, so I feel good with getting that transpired over there. I believe the conversation with Alan at Noble Digital is going to unfold here on Friday. And this is where we'll really get some clarity as far as all the things that he's going to contribute to getting our playbook in place for our on-chain ambassadors. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking, go on mute, and hear from Tyler and/or I Am Lotus before we bring this working group number 5 to a wrap tonight.
The only thing I'm thinking of is to do some sort of like a mini survey to get it dialed into what people would be most interested in before we just let the participants pick, because I want people to know exactly what they're buying. And if we need to make this cohort 1 and 2, or if we just need to do a light touch and then a deep dive or whatever, but I'd like to do a little bit of research of what people would be interested in. I can probably get that going this weekend.
So thank you for that, Tyler. And just to clarify, so that was kind of, I thought, what we were talking about here as far as this deform feedback. Is this a feedback form that you're wanting to do before we, because I think just having the one feedback form here, a pre-launch feedback form, and let me actually just call it a,
no, sorry. And this might have been what you're talking about, but Brooke was loud. So one of the things that I just want to see, are you talking about as people, Brooke, be quiet, as people are participating, well, actually, sorry, she's jumping on me. I'll have to catch up with you about this later.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and just to clarify here for the sake of the recording and playback for everyone, I'm really envisioning this as a feedback form that we can use to narrow in the curriculum ideas. I'm fully of the belief that the more that we can prioritize things that are most important to our cohort participants from a priority standpoint, and then continue to iterate, because like all of this stuff is going to be unfolding at a very rapid clip. 4 months right now is quite a long time, and this is something that we're creating this for our mutual benefit. That's the huge value proposition of a peer learning cohort. That's one of the reasons that I'm very excited to participate in this myself, is because of the peer accountability and feedback. And while I'm not a real estate professional, this is something that we're going to be implementing a lead generation component with our American Dream campaign. And that's one of the value propositions of this academy, is creating a new pipeline for real estate professionals as well. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. What do you have for us? I am Lotus.
I'm still trying to comprehend our right, left, straight, up, down. So yeah, you know, I'm basically wanting something that I can offer people that are in the real estate and Web3 kind of scenario. So we'll put it together, I guess. You said Friday, Alan's gonna talk to us or have a meeting, or how's that gonna?
Yeah, I believe so, and that's the thing that he was communicating in the email, and that's something that it looked like that the time was the best. I'm really wanting to spend the most of this week, as you all know, getting our curriculum dialed in here for our real estate professionals AI agent strategy, so that we own help bring more real estate and cooperative ownership for everyone. So those conversations will unfold. We'll be back here taking a look at our calendar for tomorrow. Let's see. We're going to be back tomorrow at
That
12.
curriculum was already Chat GPT, right? It's already AI. The topics,
The curriculum ideas over here.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
So okay,
this was mostly derived through AI, and the opportunity, like I said, to get feedback from people that are interested in participating, or
Mhm.
that are opening their wallet to participate in this. That's where we can refine the curriculum ideas, prioritize it, get it baked into a weekly schedule.
Can
And the
can you
Go
give
ahead.
me the Google link on this one? This is a Google Doc, right?
Yeah, and right now it's super easy. It's ai.hackerhouse.academy. But yeah, I'll send it right here.
You can send
And
a signal if you can,
yeah, let me throw it in there. Let's see.
so I can save it. Because what I can do is like on the pre-launch questionnaire, kind of get something going on that Tyler can look into based on the topics that you have already there. Like, people would be checking what is important to them going in. I guess the most important to them.
Yeah, and to be clear, that's actually the whole purpose of creating this form over here. And this is something between now. I'm not sure how much that we're going to get forward momentum, but we'll definitely get some clarity on this form for feedback, because we're really wanting this to make this easy. Because if we have a form, that'll provide a mechanism where we can get consistent feedback from people that are interested in participating in this peer learning cohort that we're creating for real estate professionals and AI agents.
Yeah. Okay. And our next meeting is tomorrow at what time? 2 o'clock? 1 o'clock?
Yeah, it's at
My,
12 Mountain, 1 Central,
okay,
2 Eastern.
okay. Alrighty. I'll try to get some ideas together before that time, and then we can discuss it during that meeting.
All right, sounds good. Well, looking forward to creating this peer learning cohort. This is something that I'm excited to participate in myself and really build this ownership of AI agency for real estate professionals.
Alrighty. You have a good night.
Yep, good night. Bye.
Bye.